Have you ever had a stupid idea pop into your head that you just needed to try? Well, I had this silly idea pop into my head. Can you beat Fable without using weapons or attacking with spells? Now, the start of the game forces you to use weapons and magic as part of your training. But what about the rest of the game? Could a hero save the world by punching and kicking? Here is my rough plan. I want to start a new playthrough and kill Jack of Blades. I will avoid using weapons in combat as much as possible. I can use magic spells as long as they don't directly cause damage. So offensive spells like Fireball or Lightning will not be allowed. And finally, NPC allies are allowed. Not every enemy can be killed by punching and kicking, so I might need the help of a few allies along the way. Just letting you know that this was a blind playthrough. I have not watched anyone else attempt this before, so if I've missed something really obvious, then please let me know. Alright then, let's get smacking. Our hero had a very normal childhood. He practiced punching barrels, tormented the local bully, and he was kidnapped by a creepy old man. His guild training started off well, but the guildmaster wanted more violence. We tried everything we could to avoid it, but the game knows if you're using a stick or not. So, despite our protests, we were forced to whack the dummy. Adventure was calling in the woods, and the beetles were perfectly punchable. With the beetles slain, our hero training continued. We punched and kicked Whisper with all our might, but you must hit her with your sword to move forward. On the plus side, stopping her flying kicks with our bare hands counts as blocking. We participated in a friendly duel. Archery and will training were next. Sadly, you must shoot arrows and zap targets to pass the test. But with all our basic training done, we could now fight Maze. Our punching doesn't register as a melee hit, and not even the mighty stick could hurt him. And don't you dare try to zap him as a joke. So, we had to use the sword, fire several arrows, give him a cheeky zap, and the tutorial was finally done. From this point on, no more weapons and no more attacking with magic spells. We would save Albion with just our 2 fists and a lot of patience. Now, how should we spend our experience? Well, choosing physique will give a small percentage boost to all our attacks, so it made the most sense. A cheeky potion boosted our max health, and Albion was ours to explore. Some nasty bugs were attacking the picnic area, but they were no match for our fists. The Queen looked intimidating, but she had a generous hitbox, making her an easy target. With the Queen killed, our first quest was complete. Our next goal was to protect Orchard Farm. I was desperate for some gold, so I pledged to do the quest naked for some extra cash. Some bandits wanted to fight, but they were no match for my brutality. Our kicks can literally decapitate enemies. Absolutely insane. Whisper was keen for a rematch, but we beat her in combat, and the farm was saved. To celebrate our victory, we grabbed the slow time spell, and the dreaded trader escort mission was next. Now, I can handle one-on-one fights, and even a group of enemies is doable. But trying to keep the traders alive without using weapons was gonna be tough. Our first fight in the woods was with the Balverine, and our damage output was underwhelming. It took a lot of patience, but our feat finally finished him off. But then the waves of bandits attacked. I tried my best to keep the bandits focused on me, but they were thirsty for traitor blood. Lucky for us, Darkwood Camp gave the survivors a health top-up, and with some tactical planning, we could fight all the remaining enemies without too many issues. But there was one huge obstacle ahead: the troll. It broke my heart to learn that my fists cannot hurt the troll at all. No matter the angle or how much I punched, no damage was being done. We needed a new plan. We had to go back in time. Perhaps the Berserk spell could help. Berserk makes us physically stronger, giving us a decent percentage increase in all attacks. So, after completing the entire Darkwood Forest again, let's try to take down the troll. Well, that just sucks. It seemed impossible. There was no way for our attacks to even tickle the troll. But just when hope was fading, something strange happened. Did you see that? We did some damage. But how? What was causing this sudden damage to the troll? But then it became clear. The boulders. We can punch the boulders back in midair straight into the troll's face. I've never tried this before in all my playthroughs. This was so cool. We had done it. The troll was destroyed, and at least one trader survived. What an epic start to our adventure. After having a good catch up with Maze, Twin Blade was our next target. There were too many bandits to fight, so stealing the bandit gear and rolling away was the most efficient way forward. After killing the jailer, the slaves were free, and we could confront the king of bandits. Twin Blade is completely immune from the front, so we must wait for his sword to get stuck in the ground before we can deal any damage. Using Berserk made the fight slightly faster, but it was about 15 minutes of rolling away and waiting for an opportunity to strike. Eventually, we had dealt enough damage to knock him down, and after an XP boost from our sister, we looted his camp and left him alone. With the experience we gained, we invested in the Heal Life spell and lifted some weights at the gym. Maze sent us on a special quest to Witchwood, and this time we were fighting a rock troll. Thankfully, the same strategy of punching rocks worked here too, and with the troll defeated, we could free the archaeologist. Our next major challenge was to slay the White Balverine, and I was feeling nervous. The basic Balverines were annoying enough to fight, but with a lot of patience, you can take them down. But the White Balverine is different. You can hit him with your fists to progress through the quest. But when you finally have the chance to kill him, it does no damage at all. And not even Berserk could damage its thick skin. Time to try something new. I was getting pretty good at deflecting the troll rocks, and my combat multiplier was pretty high. So, seizing the opportunity, I drank some experience potions that I had, giving me a juicy amount of experience to spend. With the massive experience boost, I was able to upgrade some spells as well as increase our punching speed. Now we still can't damage that White Balverine, so we need some extra help. The mercenary and I were a pretty good team, and the Heal Life spell was useful for keeping him alive. I acted as bait while he slowly chipped away at the Balverine's health. Eventually, enemy backup arrived, and it was a delicate dance keeping the other Balverines away while healing my new friend. The number of enemies was getting silly, but after a lot of patience and drinking heaps of mana potions, the White Balverine was dead, and we were heroes. I used what gold I had to buy as many potions as I could, and I may have got a little carried away and crippled the entire world economy through illegal gem trading. After getting all the money I could ever need for the rest of the game, we grabbed ourselves a new set of armor, and we were ready to face the arena. 8 rounds, using only my fists, let the pain begin. Round 1 was wasps, and they were no challenge at all. Hobs were next, and they were far more durable. The big hobs in particular took a long time to wear down, but with the help of some arena traps, we pulled through round 2. Whisper decided to join the battle, and I was actually glad to see her for once, as there were more Balverines ahead. I slowly chipped away at the weaker ones that I could attack, but yet again, I could do nothing to the white Balverine. It was up for Whisper to take it down, and after a long waiting game, even more white Balverines appeared. The defenses of these Balverines are insane. I was counting because I was so bored, and this particular Balverine walked into this trap over 95 times and was still standing. But this is all I could do, awkwardly walk around and wait for something to happen. After what felt like an eternity, it had finally stopped. Hollow Men were next, and I've got some great news. Not a single Hollow Man can be hurt by punches. I even went to a separate profile to test it out, and even with maximum stats, you can't even tickle them with your fist. So, the waiting continued. I just stood there and waited for them to slowly kill themselves. Every single wave, just waiting. So much fun. But round 5 was far more exciting. We could actually do some damage. Using Berserk and punching bandits was a lot of fun. And doing a drive-by decapitation never gets old. After defeating all the bandits, round 6 was Earth Trolls, and round 7 was Rock Trolls. And they stood no chance against my fist. But one final round was left, and it was the Scorpion King. You can only attack it during its charge-up laser attack, and the damage was breathtaking. But with the power of Berserk, my damage tripled to an impressive 3 damage per hit. The fight mixed it up now and then, giving us some smaller scorpions to punch. But yeah, it was a really boring fight. Whisper and I had done it. We had cleared the arena, and after bullying her just a little more, we put our differences aside. After 2 hours of mind-numbing battles, I could finally save the game and move on. There was a bounty of experience to spend from our arena battles, and after a quick catch-up with our sister, rescuing the archaeologist was our next task, but we would have to fight against Jack's minions. They have so much health, and it took forever to take them down. While fighting a rock troll, I discovered that you can redirect boulders into other enemies, which was pretty neat. But the final section of the mission was a nightmare. We have to defeat all the minions in the area within a 5-minute time limit. Now this in theory sounds doable, but it takes about 1 minute of punching to kill a single minion. There were so many minions, and we failed to kill them all in time. We kept trying, but mathematically speaking, it was not possible to do. We needed more allies. So, after recruiting some henchmen, we gave it another crack. Their help made a slight improvement, but time and time again, it wasn't enough. We need even more allies, but 2 is the maximum number we can hire. But could the turncoat spell help us out? It takes a long time to charge up, but you can turn enemies into temporary allies. So, after forcing the minions to join my team, we were able to divide and conquer our enemies. Things were going much better, and we were able to clear out all the minions with about 1 minute to spare. What a relief. Nostro was next on our bingo card of battles. And while I searched for treasure, the henchmen dealt with the Hollow Men. Nostro's tomb was guarded by a large door that needed a sacrifice to open. Using Turncoat, we convinced one of the Hollow Men to betray his friends, and we made it inside. The Circle of the Dead became our new arena of battle, and my army of traitors slowly killed each other. But how do we kill the last enemy? There's no way to damage him with our fist. But if you leave and come back, it looks like the circle has been reset. But the game actually remembers what you did from the last battle, so only one more Hollow Man needs to die to open the door, and we could finally go to jail. Turncoat was super useful, and it helped us survive the next few ambushes. There were lots of unpunchable enemies in our way, but the power of betrayal was too strong, and we were able to find Mum, get trapped by Jack, and thrown into prison. After stealing the key, grabbing our gear, and freeing Mum again, we used slow time to skip all the combat, but a battle with the Kraken was next. Now only the head of the Kraken can be hurt, so we must destroy the tentacles first. Fighting each tentacle was one of the most boring experiences so far, as you can only land one single hit each cycle. A clinically insane level of patience was needed, but after smacking down all the tentacles, we could finally fight the true enemy. Lucky for us, the Kraken's head was close enough to punch, so we could land quite a few hits on its face. But at half health, it retreated underwater, and phase 2 of the tentacles could begin. I was so bored. But to keep me on my toes, the game decided to mess with me. The last 2 tentacles refused to fight me. They just stood there, mocking me. There was nowhere to reach them, and nowhere to get their attention. To make things even weirder, an invisible wall was blocking the path, and I could no longer move around the arena. My game was broken, and I had to make a tough choice. I didn't want to load a previous save, redo the entire fight again, and have the possibility of encountering the same glitch. So, I chose to make a compromise. Since this was a glitch, just this once, I allowed myself to use lightning to take out the glitched tentacles. Now the lightning isn't going to hurt the Kraken's health bar at all, but it was the only way I could think of to keep the fight going. It's not what I wanted to do, but it's what I chose. With the tentacle glitch fixed, we could get back to business. And after a series of blows, the Kraken was defeated, and we could return to society. But I was curious about the glitch that just happened, so after finishing my playthrough, I returned to the Kraken on a different profile. After some experimenting, it turns out that attacking the tentacles while using Berserk was the cause of the glitch. Hitting a tentacle with Berserk causes it to go underwater, and when it comes out of the water again, the AI breaks. This also makes invisible barriers appear around the arena. Just for fun, I glitched out all the tentacles, and the battle came to a halt. But I want to make things right, so after fighting the tentacles using regular punches, we were able to get to phase 2 of the Kraken head without it glitching out. So you can definitely beat the Kraken with punches only, just make sure you don't use Berserk. Let's continue with our quest. I haven't been shopping in over a year, so it was good to get some supplies. Our next quest was to investigate the ancient Cullis Gate in Darkwood. In a normal playthrough, this is one of the easiest missions in the game. But we're not doing a normal playthrough, are we? All the enemies are Hollowmen, which we can't punch. So instead, we can use Turncoat to make them fight each other. When they kill each other, the progress bar slowly fills up, but it also slowly ticks down. The enemies get stronger and stronger the longer you fight. So sometimes you'll get a boost of progress, but because it takes them so long to die, we get stuck in a limbo state where the bar never quite fills up. It was clear that we were going nowhere, so I hired my favorite boys to help us out. But even with their enthusiasm, the bar would not fill up. I had one trick left up my sleeve. I could summon a wasp. Now I know what you're thinking. A wasp. How is that gonna help? Well, using a summon has 2 interesting perks. First of all, summons are not affected by the slow time spell, meaning they can attack at a normal speed while all enemies are slowed down. And secondly, if a summon kills an enemy stronger than itself, it permanently upgrades to that enemy. So I upgraded my small wasp to a bigger wasp. my big wasp into a bandit, my bandit into a bandit leader, my leader into a bandit grunt, and finally my grunt into an assassin. Assassins are highly aggressive and attack quite frequently. But I made one slight miscalculation. The assassin did his job too well, and he was promoted to an undead general. Because undead generals are higher ranked on the summon waiting list, I was now stuck with a big beefy boy who was slow to attack. But with the combination of 2 henchmen, slowing down time, and my undead summon, we were just fast enough to fill up the bar, and we could finally explore Hook Coast. Maze was caught in 4K trying to kidnap my sister, so we had no choice but to fight. His magic shield made him invulnerable, and his inferno attack did some spicy damage. But there were brief moments when his guard was down, and we slowly chipped away at his enormous health pool. Our fighting continued in the streets. It was tedious and boring, and at one point, he teleported away and he started to heal himself.
No! No!
But after 34 minutes of smacking the old man in the face, we had the upper hand. With Maze defeated, we could finally confront Jack. Each focus site was combat free, and you can just run straight past all enemies. But I made a special detour to the farm. By letting my summon get the final blow on a minion, we now have a personal minion under our command. After Jack had gathered all the Dragon Balls, one final challenge remained. The game really expects you to use a bow in battle, but I ain't gonna touch it. Slow time and summon got the party started, and my fists did a lot of the talking. My summon was able to kill the Dreadwing minion and upgraded to his final form. With all of Jack's minions taken down, we could now fight man to man. The fight was pretty straightforward. It was a constant cycle of smacking and healing. But then phase 2 started. Jack is now flying in the air, and there is no way for me or my minion to damage him. But who said he couldn't kill himself? Jack's magic attacks have an AoE, so if I tank the damage, he gets slightly hurt by his own spell. So, all I have to do is stand still and let Jack kill himself. Now he has a super powerful attack that shreds your health. But if you stand there like an absolute Chad and just devour apples, you can out-heal the damage. After eating several hundred apples, Jack delivered the final blow, and we had done it. To stay true to the playthrough, I threw the Sword of Aeons away, but there's one more thing I wanted to do. The world was a safer place, but Jack was bound to return soon. After saving the Fire Prophets, we returned to Hook Coast and started a battle with the Summoners. These boys are tanky, but with enough hits, they can be slain. We went for a brief trip across the ocean, found some nice treasures in the snow, but a frost troll wanted to party. Now this is the first troll that we can't actually deflect projectiles back into. So, it was up to our loyal minion to do all the damage for us. After reaching Snowspire, we desecrated some graves, and a chaotic battle against more summoners began. After learning all the letters of YMCA, we headed towards the arena for another battle. Every enemy was something we had killed before. We had mastered all of the troll attacks, and the rest of the battle was running from enemy to enemy and giving them a good smack. With the arena clear, Mum needed some help going to sleep. The screamers were incredibly durable, but the combination of slow time and summon helped us silence the screams, and another soul was saved. Nostro was our final soul to collect, and as expected, he was completely invulnerable. The plan was to summon a minion behind him, wait for the minion to kill at least one Hollow Man, and then hopefully the minion would attack Nostro. It was just a waiting game, but our minion was a good boy, and our soul collection was finished. Time for the main event. There's a small window of opportunity where Jack lands on the ground and you can smack him in the face. Now our minion is doing most of the damage, and you gotta watch out because Jack's attacks can really mess you up. 95% of this battle is waiting for Jack to stop flying so you can hit him in the face again. The fight became slightly trickier when more minions were summoned to stop us. But in classic Jack fashion, he loves to hurt himself, and he kindly killed all the enemies for us. There's not really much to say, it's just a tedious waiting game. And after 41 minutes of fighting, we could deliver the final blow. We had done it. Fable 1 has been completed. With the exception of the tutorial, it is completely possible to beat the game without using weapons or attacking with offensive spells. But you will need the help of a few special friends that we made along the way. Now before we wrap things up, I have a small confession. While going through the footage, I noticed one mistake I made. During the 34-minute fight with Maze, my finger was holding down the trigger to cycle through spells, and I accidentally zapped Maze with lightning instead of punching him. This did a whopping 1 damage to Maze, so I'm sorry to say I technically failed my own challenge. I hope you can forgive me for this awful mistake I've made. Well, that's it. The madness is over, and I can finally play Fable normally. Thank you for watching this silly video, and I hope you have a great week. God bless.